This is the Dzogchen Simdai Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. It is General Leia Organa Saturday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. After chanting the final quarter of Spaciousness of the meditation classic Spaciousness of Vajrasattva, composed so many centuries ago by Vajra, also known as Gaurab Dorje. Incomparable wisdom alone is the blissful continuum of the self-perfection that is Hatha Yoga's noticing the antics of mind and relaxing into its non-graspable nature. The domain of the ultimately real, which does not rise from causes and conditions, for they are truly irrelevant. This insight is easy, so easy in fact that it seems difficult to those who are rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, and elitist. Though all-pervading this continuum, editing opportunity. Oops. Hatha Yoga's noticing and relaxing is invisible. It cannot be pointed out by saying this is it. Not even by Vajrasattva himself, the archetype of simply noticing and relaxing. This amazing, wonderful display of energy, spacious by nature, transcends action. From within all deep unknowingness beyond thought and thinking, these dynamic potentials suddenly arise. This energetic radiance of consciousness dwells in all and is the way for all. For those lost in delusions, tyranny of jealousy and pride, which are the obstructions to enlightenment, love, and letting go. Hey guys, what's up? Confused by the tyranny of dread and desires, obscurations to liberations, awareness and letting go. This natural relaxation is like a medicine, in search of a doctor to prescribe what is needed. From within the field of our understanding, blissful awareness arises, revealing the ordinary world as pristinely pure. When it feels as if lights of awareness from all directions come together in one's hearts as we inhale, one realizes the omnipresent divinity of that which is. Lucid yet void, resounding yet void, sensual yet void, as well as appearing yet void. Above, below, in all directions as we exhale. From the colors of the metaphoric rainbow of inhalations, awareness. Inhalations, 5 wisdoms symbolized by the 5 primordial families and their qualities manifest. such as inhalations, noticing of compounded moving parts. In the uncompounded, unmoving base, access through exhalations, relaxation. One moment, if you please. I'm going to tap home and aerial and again, home and aerial and effect and color. Let's continue. Along with the deity like 5 elements which feel etheric yet void, warm yet void, liquid yet void, solid yet void, and dynamic yet void, which seem to animate creation. Conventional notions like past, present, and future cannot comprehend the ultimate nature of the unborn unceasing. In truth, nothing arises, nothing ceases. Fundamental wisdom unifies all and dispels any such notions. Equal in all the manifestations, there are no offerings to gradually arrange. So right here, this is very special. I'm going to create a new page. Let's see, let's hit insert. Let's hit control and enter. And let's go over here. Speak like Aaron Cartman for a moment. Let's hit layout. And let's hit line spacing. Let's hit OK. And let's hit home. And 42. And center. The folly of ritual. Okay, home. Let's make that 72 and put this right here. Equal in all the manifestations, there are no offerings to gradually arrange. All forms being one in reality, nothing needs to be dedicated in any direction. We can accumulate an offering. We can accumulate and arrange our various offerings, but since they occur naturally, they need no arranging or distribution. Since the true condition revealed by noticing and relaxing is naturally complete, there is no need to make offerings. Pure from its inception, the pristine continuum of Hatha Yoga's noticing and relaxing is already wisdom nectar. There is no need for our minds or our senses to visualize or intend. All phenomena are already arrayed and consecrated by the mind's spontaneous judgments. The spiritual power of vulnerable, passive, visceral, random, and fleeting clear seeing is the equipoise or balance of the contemplative stillness of Hatha Yoga's noticing and relaxing. Even an instant of this contemplation is divine union. Of emptiness is 3 circles of object, organ, awareness, and relaxing. The satisfaction of this union fulfills all spiritual commitments. Going through the dance of various spiritual practices, one is in reality offering the state of non-duality. So I'd like to jump in real quick and explain something. The more we concentrate and contemplate, the more we trigger our amygdala. Actually, I'm going to point to visual aids. The more we rely upon our medial prefrontal cortex and dorsolateral prefrontal cortex to actively concentrate and actively contemplate, the more we so exhaust the front of our brain that we inadvertently present with symptoms of depression and trigger our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression, which really, really sucks. However, when we cooperate with our inhalation and our exhalation to dance between our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, the aggression and of our amygdala is calmed, and the empathy latent within our anterior cingulate gyrus is gently stimulated. What does this mean? When we practice authentic mindfulness and meditation in reliance upon our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, we cannot help but do the kind thing. And loving kindness comprises 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path of enlightenment. In Shakespeare's Hamlet, he wrote, "Oh, but I must be cruel to be kind." Bullshit. Kindness is kindness, cruelty is cruelty, and never the twain shall meet. The more we practice concentration and contemplation, the more impossible true kindness becomes. Why? Why is that? Because the highest kindness is the spontaneous and uncontrived byproduct of mindfulness and meditation. There are so many fancy ways of describing mindfulness and meditation, but practice them. And here's the funny thing. We don't have to force our brain to practice mindfulness and meditation. We already evolved to do this in every inhalation and in every exhalation. All we need to do is remind our intention, remind our will that we're going to take a relaxing break from the exhausting habit of actively competing against our own autonomic nervous system and instead cooperate with it vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. So all we're doing is cooperating with a mechanism that is already in place. Having said that, let us return to our chanting material. The non-grasping of Hatha Yoga's noticing and relaxing is already the perfect offering, beyond any need for practice. The consummation of all practices, which is already present. Non-conceptual wisdom eliminates every obstruction. Contemplative equanimity is the perfect mantra. To honor spiritual teachers, practice generosity, and perform all manner of merit-making activities. becomes a form of ignorance when performed in the absence of equality and non-attachment. The wisdom conveyed by this teaching is obscured by active striving. When envisioned by conceptual grasping, the true condition cannot be realized. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to check for questions. Any questions over here? Any questions over here? So Waylon asks, am I ugly? Well, Waylon, I've yet to see your face. I do not know. If you have any videos on YouTube, send me the link. But I will tell you this. Nothing makes us as beautiful as loving kindness. And nothing generates loving kindness as effectively as noticing and relaxing in harmony with our breathing. So there is this myth that we are what we emote. And if we emote cruelty, if we emote rage or despair or terror, then we are ugly, ugly, ugly. But those 9 times out of 10 are the teachings of people trying to manipulate you. The highest, the greatest luminaries agree that as we relax into our exhalation, whatever peace or terror we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if they were melting into the simplicity of just emotion. Similarly, as we relax into our exhalation, whatever love or hate we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if they were melting into the simplicity of just intention. The dynamo of noticing and relaxing in harmony with our breathing is the key to using the raw energy of whatever we perceive, emote, intend, reason, recall, or imagine, and use that to simply traverse the path of impermanence, love, going with the flow, and that's it. Enlightenment is not the absence of certain emotions. Enlightenment is simply mastery of the Buddha's path. Getting so good at the path that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. And this is something that the Buddha said could be mastered in as little as 7 days. Which is why I teach 7 days a week. And on good days, twice a day. And on very good days, even more. So let's do some quick math. It's 20 minutes after the hour, so that means I'd like very much to meditate with you for the next 35 minutes. So let's call that 3 sets of 12 minutes. For the first set, of 12 minutes, we could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce behind our navel. We shall use two methods for that. The first method is simply using the tip of our left ring finger to support the lower knuckle of our right ring finger, palms up in our lap. The second method is quite easy. It's diaphragm-oriented breathing. As we notice our diaphragm articulating and pulling down as we inhale, silently and mentally we could recite the verb noticing. As we feel our diaphragm returning to its resetting during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing. It's just that simple. It is easy for us to be scared of the free fall of meditation and for our controlling tendencies to whisper in our ear, "Hey man, if you close your eyes, you'll open them to find a century has gone and you'll be a contemplative Rip Van Winkle." A useful tool to cope with this anxiety is Bengali crease counting. So let us touch the tip of our left thumb to the lowest set of creases of its little finger. And this is how we keep track of our first set of 12 inhalations. We'll count the actual 12 inhalations using our right thumb. Every time we silently and mentally recite the verb noticing as we inhale, we shall advance our thumb up the creases of the four fingers of our right hand. Let's do this together right now for about 60 seconds. Having run out of creases upon our right hand, we now advance our left thumb up to its next set of creases. And so now you get the basic idea of how our left hand can count 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. Give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Oof. The moment you wish to greet me or ask a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question or greeting in great detail in the chat window, for I tend to check for questions about every 6 minutes or so. Now we come to our second set of 12 minutes. Where we will gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at our crown using two methods, respiratory and digital. So this time we'll use our left index finger to support the lower knuckle of our right index finger, palms up, in our lap. And this time, as we feel air enter our nostrils, we'll silently and mentally recite the verb noticing. And when we feel air exit our nostrils, again we shall silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing. But by making the subtle changes with our fingers and with which part of our bodies we feel our breath, we're able to sit for a longer period of time. And now we come to the final third of our silent meditation, or not so silent meditation, because I keep jabbering away. For us to gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce within our chest. We're going to use a subtle adjustment to our breathing and a subtle adjustment to our fingers. Let us, upon the tip of our left middle finger, let us rest the lower knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up, in our lap. An additional tool we can use to gently invite our subtle energy to coalesce within our chest is to make a subtle adjustment to our mindfulness. When we feel our chest swell with inhalation, silently and mentally we can recite the verb noticing. When we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's dawn, a recitation, explanation, and practice of meditating like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.